Hello, my name is Ben.
My name is Guillermo.
Our project is titled the Indian Valley Trading Post.
Our aspirations for the project are to house multiple scales of business in close proximity to Greenville by creating a flexible, cooperatively owned production and storage space in combination with a transportation hub. This facilitates business to business, as well as business to consumer interactions to promote a strong local economy.
This concept for a mixed scale space for businesses came about through conversations with community members in Greenville.
We heard about the effort to establish a thrift store and the storage space needed.
We heard about the long trips to larger population centers for food staples and bulk items.
We heard from a local beef jerky producer that his business could benefit from a communal storage solution.
We heard about the niche blue stained wood market that the local lumber producer is entering.
And it was evident from spending time at places like The Spot that there is a thriving community here, working hard to provide for each other.
All this to say, we want to help local businesses and see Greenville's economy come back strong.
This is the area of Northern California where Greenville is located, north of Sacramento and east of Highway 5. The conversations in Greenville led to an understanding of three critical aspects of business and community support: transportation, production, and sourcing.
Transportation is individual or small groups of community members spending time and money to travel out of the area for goods that are unavailable in Greenville.
Production exists at a small scale, self-sufficient businesses supporting all of their own operating costs, or a very large scale, which requires production facilities outside of the area.
Sourcing of goods for the community, especially from industries that take place locally like ranching, is made difficult by large production chains that make centralized processing facilities necessary for goods to be sold. Cows are shipped off to be finished, slaughtered, and butchered, and then sold back to the community at elevated costs.
Establishing common access and storage space allows community members to coordinate larger trips to places like Redding, Sacramento, or Chico for bulk goods.
Through a flexible production and transportation hub, businesses of multiple scales could share costs, promote one another, and foster an environment that stimulates economic growth.
By establishing a communal cold storage facility, local producers of beef could bypass the need to send their stock to a large processing facility and sell directly to community.
When we zoom in to the community, we see this play out at the scale of local business. This is the downtown area of Greenville. The crossing of Main Street and Highway 89 is the main intersection.
Ranchers in the area make a living by raising cattle to a certain age and weight, at which point they are shipped off to be finished and turned into beef products. This process is necessary for the ranchers and for the Greenville economy, but could be improved by providing a way for Greenville to buy beef directly.
Businesses like those at The Spot, as well as the thrift store that hopes to open, are operating with limited space.
Evergreen Market is the local grocery store, and the rest of the food needs are provided for by places outside of Greenville. The convenience of Evergreen provides produce and weekly staples to the community, but long trips are required to purchase bulk items and supplies that may be needed at home or in a local business.
An important part of our ideas for Greenville is that we see these things as necessary to provide for the community and support the economy. Our aspirations are to take advantage of the activity that is already happening and make things more community-friendly and easier.
This is the site that we chose for our project, proximate to downtown and along the major road that connects the region. Close enough to be convenient, but far enough that any truck traffic at the site will not disturb its walkability.
To promote small business growth, our first idea is to incorporate a flexible storage and production space. This would allow businesses, like the food trucks at The Spot, to store extra dry goods or equipment. It could also be a place where the thrift store could house extra stock and buyers could come directly to the site for pickup.
Our second idea is for a communal cold storage facility. This addresses the desire for local beef producers to sell directly to the community by allowing the storage of larger quantities of beef, which is not governed by the same regulations as store-bought cuts.
Finally, this is all tied together by a transportation hub. Large enough to house semi-trucks, it could provide an outlet for imports and exports, making the flow of goods into and out of Greenville easier.
We believe that these ideas together are greater than the sum of their parts. By providing a space for the mixing of these activities, our hope is that it becomes a place where businesses and community members can help each other.
This, in turn, impacts Greenville as a whole, promoting small business growth and accessibility to goods for the community. It is all made possible by a cooperative ownership model in which community members and business owners invest in the space they need and become a part of the co-op.
Zooming in once again, we see the building scale. Our project is structured similarly to a warehouse typology. The cross-laminated timber trusses support the roof and the second floor, keeping the ground floor open without the need for structural walls.
Looking under the roof, we can see the layout and activity. The program is arranged in zones. For the first floor, this is the transportation hub and import-export zone, which connects to an open, flexible area for the circulation and movement of goods. Adjacent to the transportation hub is the communal cold storage facility. And these areas are flexible storage and production spaces for individuals and businesses. The second floor is also an open, flexible space with an emphasis on community activities like a gym or eating area.
The division of space in our project is heavily influenced by experimenting with the idea of a wall. In this bubble, there's a clear division between side A and side B. When we peeled part of the wall away from the rest, we found that a third space could be created.
In the context of our building, this allowed us to imagine multiple activities happening in close proximity to one another. For example, a forklift could operate here while people tuck under the threshold and walk along the peel, and the peeling wall could provide separation between these people and what happens beyond.
Our idea for applying this to a flexible space was to make this peel modular. Movable walls that could provide storage, partitions, countertops, or workbenches. The flexibility of these walls accommodates different skills while creating interesting circulation paths and opportunities for the mixing of spaces.
Let's look at an example, a scenario involving a thrift store. Perhaps there is a large influx of donations from the greater area. The thrift store owner could invest in some storage space at the trading post. These items could be dropped off and moved into the conveniently located storage area. For the first, and customers could come to pick up purchased items and take these items home. On the business-to-business side of things, a refurbisher could move into the trading post, buy furniture directly from the thrift store, fix it up, and sell it locally or as an export.
This is just an example of the possibilities we see for this type of co-op model housed in a flexible space, where businesses have the ability to join and utilize the space while benefiting from the proximity to one another. We learned a lot from our time in Greenville, and we're grateful for the opportunity to contribute to the rebuild effort through our design ideas. Thank you for listening.